Begin by acknowledging that we are in Treaty 1 territory in the traditional homeland of the Métis Nation. All individuals entering city-operated facilities, including City Hall, are required to wear a non-medical face mask. Those at the table are not required to wear a mask while sitting, as long as they're distanced 6 feet away from anyone else. Once you leave your seat at the table, you must put your mask back on. As directed by Manitoba Health, we're requesting people avoid close contact within 2 meters with anyone showing symptoms of a respiratory illness, such as coughing or sneezing. If you are experiencing flu-like symptoms, we are requesting that you excuse yourself from the room. Please note that when you join the meeting via Zoom, all participants will be in the waiting room and your microphone will be muted until the host lets you in the room. You can watch the hearing live via the City's Board of Revision YouTube channel. When called upon, you will be allowed from the waiting room and permitted to speak with respect to your property. Once you've been heard, you can continue to watch the hearing live via the City's Board of Revision YouTube channel. If any participants are currently watching the live meeting on YouTube, please mute your audio player now. My name is Cynthia Stevens, and I'll be the chairperson for today's hearing. To my immediate left is Board Member Mr. Ron Merritt, and to my far left is Board Member Ms. Linda McFadden. Our assessor today is Mr. Doug Strachan, and our secretary is Ms. Belhen Rojo. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the Board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of Queen's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the Board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the matters to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all of the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will then repeat for each item on the docket. The session will close after all applications have been heard, and the Board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the order by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. Use of cell phones is not permitted except by approval of the chair, and if you have a cell phone with you, please put it on mute now. And I did not do that myself, so I'm going to. There we go. Okay, so the way we're going to work this morning is we are going to start with properties. We're going to follow the list, the docket in order, except for properties that are not present at this time. So right now, my understanding is the first property that is present is 90 Mardina Crescent. So that will be the first property we hear today. Okay, and swear in both parties. Thank you.
Please state your full name.
I was John Strong.
And you affirm the evidence about you present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Please state your full name. And you affirm the evidence about you present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you.
Welcome, Mr. Smith.
Good morning.
So I think you heard how this will work. Mr. Strong, I apologize, Doug, I pronounced your name wrong there. Mr. Strong will go first and present his brief. You can then ask him questions. We will then ask him questions, and then we'll hear your presentation, and the process will repeat. So, sure. Mr. Strong, are you ready?
Yes. First property, 90 Mardina Crescent, roll number 0802115500. It's a property in Norman Park. Two-story single family property built 2009, just under 2,100 square feet. Full basement. Does have some basement finish. 3 washrooms, air conditioning, attached garage, lot size, approximately 5,000 square feet. All the 4 comparables are in Norman Park neighborhood as well. Portside and Marine Drive, all 2-story, year built 2008 through to 2011. Square footage, all of them are slightly bigger. You'll see the 2,100 up to 2,300 square feet basement finish on 2 of the properties. Washroom count, either 3 or 4. Much the same features, central air, fireplace, and attached garage, double attached garage. Lot sizes, all of them are bigger, 5,300 up to approximately 6,400 square feet. The sales occurred May 2016 and closer to the reference date, September 2017. Sale prices, 540,000 up to 755,000. The time adjusted sale prices are available if you'd like to consider those. For the 2021 assessment roll, 509,000. Second page, you'll see the map, the subject property to the top right, and comparable properties in Norman Park as well. So I'm requesting that the assessment be maintained at 509,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, do you have any questions of the assessor?
I don't.
Okay. Ms. McFadden? No question. Mr. Merritt?
Give me 1 second here. Mr. Strachan, you get a chance to view the house at all?
I did not, just an update for all the properties. I was unable to inspect any of the subject properties or the comparables. That applies to all the properties we're dealing with today.
I see that you have sales in here. A couple of them are a little older in 2016. So, but you have 2 of them in 17. So these are the most current sales for the, compare them to the subject property?
Yes, with the reference date being April 1st, 2018, the closest one would be comparable for September 2017. So the time adjusted sale prices are shown as well for your consideration.
So all the comparables are very similar to the subject in regards to 2-story and number of square feet?
Yeah, we tried.
And all of them in Norman Park?
Yes. Tried to narrow it down as close as possible. 2-story, age, range, square footage.
Okay, I thank you, sir. Thank you.
And I have no questions, so Mr. Smith, you may proceed.
Okay, so I would like to start off, so we purchased the house last year. It was assessed at 509. We did in fact pay 470, so considerably lower than the assessed value. I'm going to give you sort of a few things that I think speak to that and why it sold at that rate. But I do also just want to.
So what was the date of the sale?
Date of the sale would have been July 15th of last year.
Which is, that is outside the reference period, just so you know, but okay, please proceed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I did provide some comparables here if it all fall within the 2C area. Lowest assessed sale per square foot was $228. which would equate to 475, 152, if it were converted into the size of our house. So the average was 267. I also, if you look on the front of that sheet, it's kind of broken down on the front of the one package I gave you there. The average of the lowest 5 sales was 237, and still remaining the lowest is 228. So I feel as though those sorts of numbers and all of these houses that I'm providing to you here fall within the pre-assessment time, the reference here, do reflect more of a fair market value for what I feel the house is worth. A few other things I would like to point out. I think a big reason contributing to the value of the house and what I feel it's worth is site location. So we're an internal corner lot, which is a depreciating value. We're not situated right behind the multifamily, so a series of condominiums, but we're across the street. So I provided some pictures here just as a bit of a viewpoint from the house. If you turn to 1, 2, 3. Third page, that's sort of a picture I took from right angled out from the corner of our lot. So you can see on the right-hand side and continuing all the way down. Sorry, it's a big package. I'll give you a minute. Second last page of that package. So we have, from our house, we have a view from where you sort of see there, which is sort of the middle point coming out, right from the 45-degree angle of our lot, all the way down the right is condominiums, and following all the way down and wrapping around even the further corner down from us. And then you can see that path. There's the picture of the path that you follow. If you flip, I believe, to the next page, there is development going on there as well. I'm sure if you guys have been here, other people in my neighborhood have had the same concern. There's a 7-phase development going up there. I provided a couple of pictures of what used to be parkland. It's no longer going to be parkland. It's going to be condos and townhouses. The negotiations for all of that, from my best of my understanding from speaking with people in the area, began roughly 3 years ago. So for what it's worth prior to even that assessment year, and the negotiations were going between the community, the neighborhood, and the developer to try and not build superimposing buildings. But since then, they have started development. So I feel like that as well was a known fact at the time that we bought the house. And that's only going to further depreciate the value of the house. Sorry. And then, so those are sort of my arguments in terms of the site of our house that provide some evidence as to why I don't feel it's worth what it is. We have a view of condominiums, which has always been there on the right-hand side, and we're going to have more condominiums and townhouses that we're looking at what used to be a pretty well-traveled path behind us. I do have, it's being done by Progressive Real Estate, and the development's called Parkview Terrace. I don't know if you guys ever look anything up after, but that's sort of how you can find it online. And then the last piece I did want to talk about was our house is listed as a fully developed basement. I would like to just argue that as well. So if you flip to the front of the picture package, you know, these two pictures are a couple pictures of the basement. So you can see it's very unfinished. They are missing baseboards, they're missing trims, they're missing closet doors, finishings there. If you flip to the next page, that is where the washroom would be, which it currently isn't. It's only roughed in. And then, you know, as just another piece, if you look at the top picture on that second page, it's hard to see, but the vapor barrier was never sealed properly in the basement. I haven't looked behind the walls that are finished. It's partially finished. I'm not arguing that, but I'm saying it's not fully finished. I can only imagine that the vapor barrier isn't sealed behind all of the drywall either, which would be even more work to go ahead and do if you're going to do it properly. And then I provided a couple more pictures of the finishes in general. There's a picture, just the finishes in general were done poorly. I think it was done by the homeowners. You can see the staircase there. Looks like it was cut with an X-Acto knife to try and make a straight line. Pot lights, you can kind of see the holes are, I think, oval shaped when they should be round shaped. And those kind of finishes just extend through the basement. So I wanted to point that. I think the last piece to sort of go with all of this is our house was on the market for 92 days when we did purchase it. I think that speaks to all of these deficiencies. It's of the comparables that I showed you. It's the highest days on market, and I'm not sure about Mr. Assessor's comparables, but I think that just goes to further show that the house itself doesn't show the greatest, nor does the specific spot of the neighborhood that it's situated in. I know you don't take into account things post, but I did, for whatever it's worth, provide comparables post the assessment year, and the trend is only decreasing more and more. So if you know, I'm unsuccessful this year, I'll just be coming back next year after the assessment year. The lowest I had is 205 in the 2C area for sale price per square foot. The average was 248, so that's a significant decrease even from where we're at right now. So I think it all speaks to the trend that the neighborhood's going in, and I think that trend was beginning prior to the 2018 assessment year. And with that, I think that's everything I would like to present.
Thank you very much. Mr. Stone?
The pictures you supplied, have you done any improvements, upgraded the basement, repairs since you purchased?
Not in the basement, no. We've done painting. Painting that color in the basement, that sort of off brown, was the color of the entire inside of the house. Basement to second floor, so we have done some painting because I could only take so much brown. But in terms of updating the basement, we haven't done anything down there. No. Those pictures I took last night. Yeah.
So do you feel the decor of the property had an influence on the sale price? Colors like that?
You know, I think not so much the decor, but I think the finishes. You know, I think if somebody is coming to look at a house that's described as a fully finished basement, and you were to come and look at that, for example, you'd be a little disappointed. It was something that we were willing to take into account, you know, but I think that's, you know, a reason why we got the house for what we did, right? We didn't pay what they were asking, and I don't think it's worth near what it's assessed at.
Okay. I have no other questions.
Thank you. Mr. Merritt?
Yes, Mr. Smith, you certainly have done your homework.
I had some help.
I'm just looking at your summary in regards to what happened to sales to April of 2018, and you've come out with a rate per square foot for your property, And so what figure are you seeking, the assessment value? You have two figures here.
I don't have an exact number. But I feel as
But
though
what,
sort of those lower comparables, I feel like it would fall somewhere in amongst those. Out of all of the houses, I think listed here, both on, pretty much my package as well as Mr. Assessor's package, mine would have the worst situation point in terms of surrounded by condominiums, surrounded by developments going up for the next 7 years. So, when we're looking at something like the lowest being $228 a square foot, I paid $225. I think, something in between those sorts of lows and averages would be a fair rate.
So you have two figures here. You have either 475 or as high as 494.
Yeah, those were the lowest, that's the range of the lowest five that I took, yeah.
So, and I know, what you paid for it, which is post-reference, so we really can't use it, but,
Right.
It's something to look at. When you bought the house at the time, I guess it was listed at 483, eh?
482.
Yeah,
I think, 482.9, sorry.
Yeah. And you negotiated a lower price in regards to the purchase. Okay, so had you been looking in the neighborhood, at the time to figure out what were deals or anything like that, or?
We had been looking in and around that area. I don't think we had looked at any houses in Van Hall specifically, but we had looked at a house right down the street in Norman Park. If you're familiar with the area,
Well, I'm just looking at some of the sales that happened in the area, and
Oh,
they're
and that's
substantially higher.
yeah.
So what sort of, why was this one listed at such a low price?
I think that one, the site location, and I think the overall finishes. Like if you were to look at, I know we don't have time to, scour
I've seen
everything,
some of the
but
pictures.
In terms of the interior finishes of houses, ours is overall, and I'm not talking about wear and tear and that sort of thing, are I would say what would be the low end finishes. Roll out vinyl flooring for majority of the half of the main floor. Bathrooms are.
So give us a price.
Well, I'm going to say 470 because that's what I paid, but I don't, I don't necessarily know what's fair. I would say,
What do you think is fair? For the reference.
I would take into consideration that it would have been probably higher at the assessed year from what I paid. So for what you're saying, right, that I can't use that 470 number. So if I'm looking at the trend of a couple of years and I'm looking at the differences of what, like I said, I know you don't take them into consideration what they are now. I'm looking at something more like $230 a square foot, which if I could pull my phone out, I can do the math of what.
That's fine,
We can do that. So $230 a square foot.
I don't have a calculator.
I have yours. Okay. I'm sorry,
379.
379?
Must be 479.
479?
479.
479?
Two
230 at, because it
Yeah,
here
we
it's,
paid $225 when we bought it, and so that was $470. So
let's just do the math here. Yeah, 479, 479, 300. So that would make you happy?
that would make me happy, yes, sir.
Okay, I have no further questions, Madam Chairman.
Linda, do you have any questions?
Just briefly, the finishes you said upstairs were just moderate finishes, so no granite counters or?
It has granite counters. Cabinets are basic cabinets. Bathrooms are not tile, they're inserts. It's is that linoleum or vinyl, like the rollout sort of floor, like we do
Okay.
tiles.
Okay,
About half the main floor is that rollout floor. The other half of it is a hardwood that they did themselves. So similar to the cuts you saw on the pot lights in the basement, the cuts around the corners of that hardwood floor they did on the main floor. Similar. When we bought it, they had the baseboards leaned against some of the walls where they replaced that floor, you know.
okay. Thank you. That's all my questions.
My only question was just to confirm that it looks to me like from what I know of the street names and things, that these comparables you've provided here, these sales, these are all in the general area, correct?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, fine. Okay, thank you. Would you like any need for summation? Either party? No? Okay, thank you very much for joining us today. And you'll receive our decision in the mail shortly, so thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so the next property on the docket is 11 Conifer Crescent. You did, okay, thank you.
Are they here, Linda? Cynthia,
Sorry,
are they here?
they're on Zoom, I think. Just
Okay.
Getting them set up. Yep.
Hi, please state your full name.
Eric Brian Bart.
Affirm the evidence about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Thank you.
Morning, Mr. Bart. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
So I'm not sure if you've been watching or not, but I'll just run through what's going to happen here. So the assessor will present his information. You will then have an opportunity to question the assessor, as will we, and then it'll be your turn to present your information to us. And then we'll ask you questions, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. So Mr. Strong, when you're ready, please.
Property 11 Conifer Crescent, phone number 0602677. Bungalow located in Park, built in 1950. There was upgrades that have occurred. A 10-year age variant was applied for 1966. You'll note just under 1,100 square feet. There's some basement finish, a couple washrooms, central air, and a single detached garage. Lot size approximately 6,300 square feet. All the comparables are located in Windsor Park, Briarwood, Durham, and Bird Road. All bungalows, year built 1956 through 1960, all between 1,000 and 1,100 square feet. Full basement, they'll have basement development, washroom count, same as the subject. The comparable number 2, our records show there's only one washroom. Central air, detached garages, lot sizes 5,500 up to approximately 6,600 square feet. Sales, December 2016 up till September 2017. Sale prices, you'll see range from approximately 288,000 to 300,000. Time adjusted sale prices are supplied as well. We have the property assessed at 292,000. It's our estimate what it may have sold for April 1st, 2018. Thank you. Oh, sorry, the second page, you'll see the map. It's got the subject property lower left and the comparables. All again within.
Mr. Bart, do you have any questions for the assessor?
Yes, I would like to know the property tax total for last year.
Assessment?
The assessment or
Yes, please.
The assessment,
for 2020 you're asking?
Yeah, yes.
the 2020 assessment roll value was 270,000. Supplementary assessment notice had been mailed out, changing the assessment, increasing the assessment to 292,000 as a result of the upgrades that had occurred.
Sorry, what year were those upgrades occurred?
The date, I don't have when the renovations occurred. We were noted or made aware of it through the multiple listing.
Okay, and then for 2019, I believe the assessment was 252,000.
I have on my notes 259,000.
259,000.
59,000 for 2018, 2019 roll.
Yeah, I apologize. I was pulled away for a family emergency, so I don't really have things with me. I guess that's no further question.
Okay, thank you. Linda, any questions?
No, I have no other question.
Okay, Ron?
Yes, thank you. Mr. Strachan, you talked about a supplementary. What's that all about?
The coworker, one of the coworkers reviewing sales noted that the listing mentioned there was upgraded kitchen, furnished shingles, soffit fascia, eaves in June 2018. Compared to what the records later detailed, that the property did need some upgrades, and the coworker felt with the upgrades that have occurred, issued a supplementary assessment notice, bringing the value up to the 292,000.
Were permits required for the property?
I do not have any.
You don't have a worksheet?
Pardon me?
You don't have a worksheet for it?
No, I don't.
So you can't really, you just say that, but I guess the owner can fill us in regards to the upgrades, but is this a normal sort of practice that, when his house and, the substantial jump?
When the reviews are sales verification, we take a look at the condition of the property, our records, what they were prior to the sale, what our records would show possibly a property may be in fair condition. But by the looks of the descriptions of the properties, taking the sale prices into consideration, it kind of tells us that upgrades have occurred, and the multiple listing generally gives a good description of.
Okay, I thank you very kindly.
Yes. Sorry, I think you mentioned the upgrades for soffits, roof.
The multiple listings said upgraded kitchen, furnishing, those soffit fascia.
Thank you.
Just to follow up, Mr. Strachan, you talked about the multiple listing. Was that up for sale at the time, or how do you know this?
I have the notes from that the property was marketed and it's sold post reference.
Reference, okay.
Yeah.
I thank you.
So just confirming, so there was no, I know you already had said you have not seen the properties, but no one from the city went out to see these upgrades. This was just made off of this decision was made from an MLS listing.
Correct. With the health issues going on, we haven't been inspecting properties.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Bart, you can proceed to let us know about your property, please.
Okay, so I guess you guys kind of nailed it. That's the reason why I'm doing this. I just find that the supplementary increase is a little, what can I say? Like from the time that I bought the house to the time that I'm getting assessed now, it's gone up $36,000, or sorry, $33,000. And like there was no permits pulled. I've done really nothing to the house. The only thing that I was given from the City of Winnipeg Board of Revision was that it was because of what my house sold at, or what I bought the house at. And when I bought my house, there was like 23 offers. So I just find that it's not representative of the property that of what I paid. I'm saying but to myself, I'm overpaying. I was kind of in a bind. I needed to buy a house, but I just find like I don't find it unreasonable that my property taxes jumped, but I think the amount that it's jumping is a little unreasonable. And when I received the supplementary income or supplementary taxes, I received it at the same time as my 2021 taxes. So now it's telling me that I owe taxes last year when I've already paid. Like, forgive me, I'm not really well versed in taxes, but
No, it's fine. You're explaining yourself well.
yeah, like I haven't really done anything to the house. I don't know when these were done. My sale price or my sale was actually after April, right? So that's after the boards or the tax.
So just to clarify, just for all of us, so the MLS listing that the city is referring to is from when you purchased the property?
Yes.
Okay, right.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't find it unreasonable that my taxes are increasing. I'm just finding it unreasonable of the sudden jump of $33,000 that I received in March or early during this pandemic, that I felt like I needed to fight it.
Okay, all right, anything else? Anything else? No?
No, that's pretty much everything.
Okay, Mr. Strong, do you have any questions?
Since you took possession of the property, have you done any further upgrades to the property?
No, sir. I've put grass seed down. Sorry, that was.
It's worth quite a bit nowadays. So. I have no other questions. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Merritt?
Yes, Mr. Bart, what value are you seeking?
Sorry, I didn't hear your.
What are you seeking?
What valuation am I seeking?
Yeah, what value are you seeking with the reference date?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have found it unreasonable if my taxes this year would have been the 2020 assessment.
So, that's 270.
Yes, sir.
Did you bring any evidence, to conclude that value?
Well, when I received an email from, forgive me, I forget her name. I think it was Tanya from the Board of Revision, that the comparables around my house, or the median sale price, was around $272,000.
Well, I'm just looking, if you look at the assessor's, brief, they're all, over that value. So, you know, I'm just at the sale prices here, and they have a close knit range, and they range from 285 to the high of 300.
Right, but so, pardon me, but did he mention that, like, that the basement was fully finished? Because that's not the case.
What's that again?
Did the assessor mention that those comparables had a fully finished basement?
The description, I'm not sure if you saw the form that I supplied. For basement type, it says full basement. That means the entire structure has a foundation, is situated on a basement. For example, if you had a single one-story addition, it could be a surface foundation. When we say full basement, that means the entire structure, the 1,087 square feet, is on a full foundation. Basement finish, yes. I don't have the square footage handy, but when it says yes, that doesn't mean 100% of the basement. Our records show that it is 100% completed. It could be a 10 by 10 bedroom, for example. This form would still say basement finished, yes, because there is some development.
Okay. But you're just going off the MLS listing, right?
Sorry, what was that?
I said you're just going off the MLS listing. Is that correct? Of my house, that is.
Yeah, and that was just an example when we just of what basement type, full basement finish. I don't have the square footage myself handy. It possibly was confirmed on the multiple listing. I don't have all of our information.
Okay, so I'm just hearing that, like, we don't have a lot of information. We don't have the square footage. So I'm just curious as how we can use those as comparables when it seems like we don't have all the information.
You know what, right now, we're supposed to be asking you questions, I think, Mr. Bart, but.
Oh, okay, sorry, my apologies.
But maybe clarify, are you saying your basement is not finished?
I mean, I guess in terms of that definition, then yes, it's finished. There's a foundation.
Is it got finishings in the basement? Like, have you got wallboard up, carpeting?
For half my basement, yes.
It's half finished, okay. Linda, do you have questions?
Sure. Can you tell me a little bit about the kitchen? This was upgraded before you bought the house, correct?
Yes, it's pretty standard upgrade. Just granite countertops, low quality cupboards, white cupboards and one black backsplash on one of the walls. And they put in not tile, but it's representative of tile. It's not real tile, but it's a faux tile.
Okay, thank
for
you.
lack of a better word.
Do you know when the renovations were done to the house, like to the kitchen and some of the upgrades?
No, I was not. I do not.
They seem fairly recent.
I'd say yes, but maybe within the last 5 years.
Okay, it's in Las Vegas. Okay, thank you. Okay, any need for summation, gentlemen, either side? Mr. Strong?
I'd just like to point out that I supplied sales, past this assessment decisions, that sales comparisons have to be used to determine the assessment values. So I'm pointing out that I did supply sales comparisons. Thank you.
Mr. Bart, any summation on your part?
Nope. I'm good, thank you.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining us, especially if you have a family issue going on. Wish you well with that. And our deliberations will happen after this is over, and you'll receive our decision in the mail shortly.
Thank you very much. You guys stay safe.
We're going to have a request for a break, so we'll take 5 minutes, and we'll be back at 10:05. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. We'll call the hearing back to order. And the next item on the docket is 124 Talon Bay.
Full name?
Lori Lasco.
You have found the evidence about the truth
And
and nothing but.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I have to do one at a time.
Welcome back, everyone. We'll call the hearing back to order. And next item on the docket is 124 Talon.
YouTube stream?
Oh, sorry. There we go.
Okay, please state your full name.
Lori Lasco.
And you affirm the evidence about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. And John, is it?
John
Yes, it is,
Hora.
yeah.
Please state your full name.
John Har.
And you affirm the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. If you've been watching, you see how this will go, but I'll just run through it really quickly for you. The assessor will present his evidence. You then have the opportunity to ask him questions, as will we. Then you will present your evidence, and the assessor can ask you questions, as will we. And then you can summarize if you wish, okay?
All right.
Okay, so Mr. Strong, when you're ready, please.
Subject property 124 Talon Bay, roll number 0800339900. It's a 3-story or a 3-level split in Pulvary neighborhood. Single family, built in 1961. The gross living area just over 1,000 square feet. There is some basement finish. Our records show there's one washroom, 3-piece washroom. Lot size, approximately 5,600 square feet. All of the comparables are 3-level splits in Pulvary neighborhood. 1960, year built 1960, 1963, so pretty close to the subject, all around between 1,000 and 1,100 square feet. All of them have basement development. Washroom count does vary. Comparable one has the one 3-piece washroom, whereas the other comparables do have additional washrooms. Subject property, our records show that it does not have air conditioning, whereas the 4 comparables do. The comparable properties, 3 or 4 of them do have detached garages, whereas comparable number 2 does not have a garage, but rather a 3-season sunroom. Lot sizes, 5,700 up to the largest is 7,200 square feet. The sales, 2016, 2017, 280,000 to highest one, 325,000. Again, the time adjusted sale prices are available as well. We have the property assessed at $275,000 for the 2021 roll. And some of the sales they supplied the sales are very close to the subject property. So I feel that the 275,000 is an accurate value. And I supplied a map, just shows the comparables, walking distance of the subject property, and they are all 3-level splits. So in that area, there is quite a few 3-level splits. So we were able to narrow it down pretty accurately. Thank you.
Do you have any questions for the assessor?
I could apply one question. I guess I also did basically gathered, I think about 7 other homes that were all split levels. Land size, very comparable within feet. Living area, very comparable within a few feet. And they do vary quite a bit. But I guess what it is that in these other comparables, there is one thing that our property does not have, and that's the ability to build a garage. Because we're on this curve, and the setbacks that the developer or home builder at the time fitted the homes in so that they could have a drive on the side, pushed our home further back, and therefore,
time for you to ask questions, and you're presenting evidence a bit. Do you have a question?
Okay, sorry. Okay, so my question would have been the lot sizes, but they're not the same. That's what I'm saying. They're not comparable in that way.
Correct. To find a property exactly the same as yours, the lot size, it's pretty difficult for that to occur, let alone one that actually sold. So that's why we kind of have to open the parameters, try and narrow it down as close as possible. It's just that it's very difficult to find a property exactly like yours. So it's difficult. Again, that's why I had to review the neighborhood to locate other 3-level splits. But I agree with you, they are not exactly the same as your property.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I don't know what other questions I would really have this other than going back to my own summary of what it is then.
Okay, well, you'll get a chance to do that in a moment. So if you don't have any other questions, I'll ask Ms. McFadden, do you have any questions? Okay, Mr. Merritt?
I have none, madam.
I did notice, and then it has been mentioned, but that there is no garage in this property. And I think there's one of the comps doesn't, but generally what would a, say, single detached garage add to an assessment?
The values are determined through multiple regression model. I don't have a square foot rate.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Okay, you may proceed to provide us with your evidence. Just give us 1 second to pull it up on our screens here because I think you have emailed it. So
sure.
Once we all have it, you can proceed. I'll just let you know.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, has everybody got it? Yeah. Okay. Okay, please go ahead.
Okay. So the placement of the home on the property on that radius, as I said, the builder or developer at that time in 1961 or 60, they pushed back these 3 homes to accommodate side drives because they're all on an irregular pie-shaped cut. So in this here, the 124 is pushed back to a point where the garage is not. You cannot build a usable garage in the back because even a door, even if you could, you're basically driving your vehicle right alongside the house. Right across the street, though, we have 124 Talon Bay, 125 Talon Bay, where the house size is pretty much the same size. The lot is pretty much close to the same size. He has a 400 square foot garage. He has a double garage built on his property. Now, his assessment, I'm just going by assessment. I did not look at market MLS listings, just due to the fact that we don't have any intention of selling, so we're not ever interested in last 30 years of putting the house on for sale. The house also too has no upgrades. It does not have any new kitchens. The finished basement is actually, maybe to be exact, it'd be about like 63% finished, and the other percentage is left bare concrete walls up until this date. So what I did is I looked at the split levels in the neighborhood, and I went to Barrington, 90, 100, and 162 Barrington, and some of them have a detached garage and no garage. I looked at a home that was on 80 Woodbury Drive, as well as 89 Woodbury Drive, one with a detached garage, one with no garage. And then I took 3 houses, including ours, 125 Talon Bay, 143 Talon Bay, and also 125, making 124, gives me 8 homes. Out of these 8 homes, I'm looking at their assessments, and they do vary, anywhere from as much as, I guess, 320 all the way down to ours 275. So I tried to establish the value of a piece of property that is able to have a garage. And demographically, when you mentioned for sale, I think a lot of homes, it's detriment to them that they do not have a garage in our winter conditions. And therefore, on this property, 124, you cannot build a garage just due to the size of the property. So therefore, that's why I'm just looking for the fact that I can't compare, a piece of property that's not a rectangular shape that cannot accommodate a garage. And so therefore, that's why I'm saying that our taxes actually should be looked at the fact that the property value is not the same as I can't potentially build a garage or enhance that part of my property to bring up the market value.
Okay, is that your presentation?
That is pretty much a good summary of it.
Okay, I did just to remind you, we generally can't, well, not generally, we can't take assessments of other property into consideration. But you have made the point that because you can't have a garage, that you feel that your property is worth less than your neighbors. Is that correct?
Well, it definitely is. Demographically, if I was looking for to sell it, and if I had somebody, I'm going to call it a purchase plus. So let's say somebody wanted to purchase my property and I wanted to build a garage there to increase the sale, I cannot.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, Mr. Strawn, any questions?
The information you supplied, did any of those properties sell? Are you aware if they did sell at any?
Any of them sold? I did not look for property sales just due to the fact that I have no interest in selling.
Okay. I have no other questions. Thank you.
Mr. Merritt?
I have no questions, thank you.
Ms. McFadden?
And you said there's been no upgrades to the house, it's still the original?
No, there hasn't been any upgrades. As a matter of fact, if upon inspection, if somebody had inspected the basement, they would see that it's, like I said, it's only one room. It's 283 square feet developed, if you want to call it that, and the rest is still original.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions.
Oh, okay, Mr. Merritt does have a question?
You're here this morning, and what value are you seeking for your property?
Well, the 275 in assessment, I'm looking to roll it back to about 269.
Okay,
Which I think is fair.
I thank you.
Can I ask one further question?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Is the property a rental property by chance?
No, it's not. It's a family property. We stayed there. We have elderly people, parents that live on Frederick, and we have families there in their 90s, and we reside there 3 months, usually at a time, to 5 months. My son still lives there. It is not a rental.
Okay, thank you.
And I have no questions, so any desire for summation, Mr. Strong?
Just requested this assessment be maintained as my sales comparisons, I feel support the value versus comparing assessments. Thank you.
Sir, did you have any last words you'd like to say?
Well, the other issues that property has is neighborly, and unfortunately, as I spoke to somebody else in zoning, I have the driveway, for example. The home next to me, their driveway is built up about 8 feet right to the property line, and somehow he has a single garage built right along the property line, which gives me about a 1 foot encroachment onto our property. And there again, that home has not any renovations since I don't know when. And so therefore, I have a grading issue. But again, that was supposed to be for development, and it had somebody come up because we haven't changed anything. Matter of fact, I had to we did elevate our grade. I actually built the front of the house up 1 step higher, actually 7 inches higher in the front. Actually, I buried 1 step. I have 2 neighbors on both sides of me that are drowning me out. So therefore, I know this is another issue, but this is something else that, again, like if I have to go to my neighbors and ask them to remove his driveway and his garage, or if I have to go to my other neighbor on the other side and ask him to scrape down his property, I mean, it makes it very difficult to live there.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us this morning. We will deliberate after the hearing is over, and you will receive our decision in the mail shortly.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a nice day.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning.
Please state your full name
Benjamin Bush?
and you affirm the evidence you've about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Morning, Mr. Bush.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. So just to explain what's going to happen, the assessor is going to present his evidence. You will then have an opportunity to ask him questions, as will we. Then you can present your evidence, and the questioning will then happen for you as well, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. So the next property on the docket is 486 Stalker Bay. Mr. Strong, when you're ready, please.
486 Stalker Bay, located in Rossmere, roll number 04000519 Again, Rossmere. Bungalow, built in 1960, 1,100 square feet. There's some basement finish, a couple washrooms, central air, and a detached garage. Lot size, approximately 6,000 square feet. All of the comparables are in Rossmere as well. Age range, very close. Bungalows, 1959, 1958. Square footage, very close, 1,000 to 1,100 square feet. All of them do a basement development. Washroom count does vary from 1 to 3. Detached garage, single detached garage for all the properties. Lot sizes, 4,800 to approximately 6,500 square feet. Sales, 2016 through 2018. Sale prices, 275,000, with the highest being 295,000. And again, the time adjustments are showing the 2021 assessment, 286,000. Some of the sales I supplied, sale price is lower, or you'll see that some of the sale prices are higher. So we feel the 286,000 fits into that range of sales. And second page, I supplied a map, the subject property to near the middle of the property middle of the map, and the comparables are pretty close to the subject. So again, feel that the assessment of 286,000 is an accurate value. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bush, do you have any questions for the assessor?
I don't know that I have any questions. I just had a couple comments maybe.
Well, you can do that when you make your presentation, so.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. McFadden, any questions?
I have no question.
Mr. Merritt?
I have none. Thank you.
And I do not either, so Mr. Bush, please go ahead.
Okay, well, I recently purchased this, I believe it was, November of 19. I guess you guys know what I paid, right? I believe I paid either $239 or $240. And when I purchased the house, I bought it as a rental house. So I was looking in a certain price range, and there was a few other houses in the area that you can always get nicer houses or less expensive houses. And I guess what I thought as comparables was the other ones I was looking at. So I did bring their address, but I don't have the Keystone Matrix to see what they actually sold for. I thought maybe you guys would have maybe the sales price, maybe not, but I can give you the other addresses of ones that are right in that same area.
Now, unfortunately, your purchase is, unfortunately for this discussion, your purchase is outside of the assessment period. So the assessment period was April 1st, 2018, and you purchased property in 2019, you're saying? Yeah. So we're looking at what the property was worth at the April 20, so things that were on the market then are not necessarily comparable, but if you have any information about the.
No, and I do understand that they're not comparable. The only thing is, I feel it's maybe one of the best things to go on, because if it went up for sale a year earlier, it probably would have been the same price.
Any information you want to provide us with the condition of the home, or?
Well, as a rental house, I was looking for a poor condition house. It's still in poor condition just because I just put a renter in there, and the reason why I'm not upgrading is because their tenants are tough on everything. So I just wait for a phone call till something breaks it. Has been my experience, but yeah, so the other addresses I had, they're very close, like on the map. Soccer base off of Mark Pierce, I had 578 Mark Pierce. I had 663 Oakland and 390 McLeod. They're all in the Rossmere A catchment. And they were all listed. Mine was listed at 250. All these were also listed. Well, 249.9, they're all listed at. So I'm guessing they all went 249.9 to 240. But yes, my house is all original inside. It was a cared for home, but it's an original 1960s home, and I thought my purchase price was maybe closer to the assessment price than the 286, but I guess I should have brought you in maybe. I print out Keystone Matrix, but I don't have that. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Strawn, any questions?
You mentioned that it was in poor condition at the time of sale. Have you done any upgrades?
I have not. I just got tenants in there. And I shouldn't say poor condition. I should say not upgraded.
So it is habitable, there's no.
Definitely.
Okay.
Everything works.
Okay. And being a rental, What do you get for rent for the property?
I'm getting $15.50.
Okay. I have no other questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Merritt?
Mr. Bush, it is a rental property, you're not living in the house, and I think you had said the rent is like $15.50.
That's correct.
Does that include utilities or?
No, it does not.
Okay,
They intend to pay.
and are they a month to month or on a lease or?
Just month to month.
Month to month, okay.
The reason why I do month to month is if they want to leave, I don't want them picking a new tenant. I'd rather pick a new tenant. Some people, I guess, try and sublet it, I guess.
You had mentioned, and you're out of the, you bought the property, I think, last year,
That's right.
which is out of the reference period, so we rent, so won't consider that. But just offhand, was it a private sale or anything like that, or MLS?
It was an MLS.
Okay.
I purchased, it was on the market, I'm taking a guess at this, between 1 and 2 weeks. So they had an offers date, didn't sell, and then that's when so there's offers date, I can't compete.
Okay, so do you recall what the list price was at the time?
I believe it was $249.
Okay, and you were successful at, I think you had mentioned 240?
Yes, the
Somewhere around
reason
there.
why I say, I'm not sure if it's 240 or 239,
Mhm.
is because the people selling it were adamant they get 240. I was at like 238, and the realtor said, well, she'll reduce her commission. So then it's only 239, so I paid 239, but I don't know if Keystone Matrix says 240 or not.
Did you have the property appraised at all, or?
No, I don't.
No? Did you seek financing at the time?
Yes.
Put a
I did.
mortgage on it?
I put a mortgage on it.
Okay,
Yes.
did they do an appraisal or anything like that? No?
Well, you know what, when you say that, I think it might have to be appraised to get a mortgage, but I don't have, they didn't come back to me.
So did they give you 75% of the value?
Yes, they did.
So in other words, you asked for 25% down? You know, that's what
It would be very close. I did not get the CMHC.
they, okay.
I don't know if I was at 20% or, you know what, I can't tell you accurately. I would,
Okay, so the long and the short of it is, the assessment that the city of Winnipeg have is 286.
Yeah.
What are you seeking? What would make you happy this morning?
I would love 240, but I totally understand, and everything in the world is got to be fair and give and take. And so, if you could give me any help, I would appreciate it.
I'm sorry?
Any help would be appreciated.
I think you said
So do you have a
249.
figure?
I would say 240.
Okay, I have no further questions.
Linda?
I don't have any questions.
And no, I don't think I have any questions either.
Can I just
Oh, you
ask
have
one
more,
further
okay.
question? Yeah, Mr. Bush, what condition was the property at the time that you bought it? Did it need any work, or was it
I would say-
owned by a little old lady, or was there
It was
tenants in
owned
there?
by an old lady. I would say it's in good-
Older lady?
An older lady. I would say it's in good condition.
It was owned by a mature person.
Yes. Good condition,
Okay,
but dated.
okay, but dated, okay.
So it was you said original, so original kitchen, original bathrooms.
Yeah, it's, well, when they went to list it, they, put some paint on. But,
So when you bought it, what improvements did you make, or did you make any?
I removed quite a bit of carpet, just so it's just the, hardwood flooring underneath now. I did not sand.
Just cosmetic things,
Uh,
or did you do some structural?
No, just
Okay,
cosmetic.
so no work permit or anything like that taken out? No?
No.
No, okay. Just sweat equity.
Yes.
I thank you.
Okay, I think my questions have been answered. So Mr. Strong, any need for summation?
I respect the appellant's information of, regarding his character home. According to municipal board decisions, sales support values. Generally, when the appellant doesn't supply any information, the sales comparison is taken into consideration. So I'm requesting that the assessment be maintained. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bush. Any summation?
I'd just be repeating myself.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming this morning. And our decision will reach you in the mail shortly. So
I appreciate that.
thank you. Thanks a lot. And we don't have anyone else who's joined us. Okay, so we'll go back up to item number 6 on the docket, then 29 Halperin Drive. And if you could read this on to the Mr. Strawn, thank you.
29 Halperin Drive, rule number 0800-650-6500. The property is located in South St. Vital, or south of the perimeter. 2-story, single family, 3,200 square feet. See, built in 1984, full basement finish, 4 washrooms. It has attached garage, detached garage, and the lot size just under 2 acres. Of course, out in that area, there's no sewer, water services. We have it assessed at $690,000. All the comparables I supplied are South St. Vital as well, south of the perimeter. I supplied a map, and the next page shows that the property was appealed last year. The assessor and the owner came to an agreement. The Board of Revision accepted the recommendation at $690,000. So I'm requesting that the 2021 assessment value be maintained at $690,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the panel? No. No? Okay, I have no questions either. Thank you. Okay.
Can I just ask one question? Was there any contact at all from the applicant? Was he?
Yes. Coworker spoke to the owner, and they were aware that they had agreed to the $690,000 last year. They were aware of it, and the coworker had spoke to them.
Why would he make an application again and not show up?
It was, I believe the issue was he's reviewing sales, looking at the market right now. He was made aware that the reference date is April 1st, 2018, but I guess he was taking the current market into consideration and felt that the value is not accurate. Just bear with me. I'm wondering if he's asking for an increase, but no, on the application, seeking decrease. So.
Okay, I thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yep. Okay, next item on the docket is 151 Seaside Drive. Interesting name for a street in the middle of the prairies.
51 Seaside Drive, roll number 0609352000. It's in the St. Boniface Industrial neighborhood. 2-story, built 2014, approximately 2,600 square feet. full basement, 3 washroom, central air, attached garage, 6,000 square feet. The 2021 assessment roll, 502,000 comparables. They're all in industrial, St. Boniface Industrial as well. I supplied the map. You'll see that they're pretty close. All 2 stories. All the comparables are a couple of years older, very much the same features. Washroom count, attached garages, lot sizes, sale prices, they range. You'll see the sales history, the bottom left. Sold a couple times. September 2015, 460,000. The year before, July 2014, sold for 451,000. And I'm requesting that the 2021 assessment of 502,000 be maintained. Thank you.
Thank you. Panel members, any questions? I'm going through. None? I do not either. Thank you very much. Okay, next item is 39 Marine Drive. Another one that's a street name. Well, you can't have a marina in the middle of the prairies, but
Well, yeah.
a sea, maybe not.
A little dry.
Okay, Mr. Strawn, when you're ready.
Okay. "39 Marine Drive, roll number 0802-1126800. 1-story property, built in 2011, 2,100 square feet, full basement. There's basement finish, number of washrooms, attached garage, lot size 6,900 square feet. The 2021 assessment roll, 873,000. Comparables, they're all in, 3 out of 4 of them are in Norman Park, whereas comparable number 4 is in Minnetonka. A bit further to the west, all bungalows, all of them are a few years older. Square footage, 18 to 2,100 square feet. Again, much the same features, lot sizes range. Sale prices, it's quite a range, 671,000 up to 925,000. I'm requesting that the assessment of 873,000 be maintained. And you'll see the sales history of the property. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions from panel members?
No questions?
None, madam?
None for me either. Thank you. So that concludes our agenda for today. So we'll conclude the hearing as well. Thank you very much, everybody. And we'll take a short recess before we deliberate.